And now do a quick introduction of Jason as we get started. Hello, good afternoon. We're going to be timely because I know many of you might be on your lunch break. I am Kyle PITSCO, our Executive Director of New York State Parent Teacher Association. And I am so thrilled to be with you this afternoon for this half hour. We're going to kind of get you in and out with your questions, presentation on with our fantastic STEM partner, PITSCO. I know many of you have met Jason both at convention and summer leadership. Jason, thanks for being here with us this afternoon. We're going to record this and send this out to all of our fantastic members in our next member news. But we're here to talk today a little bit about hands-on learning and what that looks like and how STEM can really, we can support it at the PTA level, at the school building level. Your principals that are on can support this as well, and how we really can partner with ed tech companies to bring this learning into our school buildings, into our classrooms, into our after-school programs. Jason, thanks for being here, and I'm going to turn things over to you. And I know you're going to take questions at the end, which is fantastic. We're going to do questions as always in our chat. So if you have a question for Jason during the meeting, please type that in that chat. I'll interrupt Jason as appropriate and get those questions answered. Jason?
Thanks for having us. Yeah, great intro, Kyle. I appreciate it. Yeah, again, my name's Jason Seifert. I am a PITSCO Education Advisor. I've had the great pleasure to work with Kyle and team for 3 years now, I think. But we won't take up much of that time, so I'm going to get started. So PITSCO education at our core is hands-on learning. So saying around here is we were STEM before STEM was cool. So we've been in the CPE and STEM space for almost 53 years now. So we like to think we're pretty good at it. So a little housekeeping item here. My name's Jason. I am actually the previous education advisor for New York. We have just hired Rich, who is traveling to Denver to a conference today. So he is unable to join us, but he is the contact going forward. And I will get him over to Kyle and the team to continue this great relationship. So who we are, as I mentioned, PITSCO is fundamentally rooted in STEM. We have our competency-based and collaborative hands-on solutions bring learning into your classroom, utilizing the 4 C's, the communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. We're developing real life problem solvers in your classroom, so they can continue that learning and grow within your classrooms. So our mission is to leading education that positively affects learners. So we pride ourselves on how many students that we serve every year. And how do we do that? We serve over 3 million students every year by serving teachers. So by taking time listening to teachers and principals and assistant principals and curriculum directors, everybody, we carefully craft projects to am I sharing my screen?
Yep, we see it. We see your hands on, mine's on, and then you just have to advance.
I thought I was. Okay. Yeah, I've got some technical difficulties.
That's okay.
Oh, there we go. I just got to change it on the right screen. So we serve over 3 million students. Sorry, you'll get the PowerPoint later. So serve 3 million students with 3,000 products. over 3,000 products. If a student were to follow our pathways from pre-K all the way through high school, they're going to be introduced to over 1,000 careers. We annually serve 800 plus teachers a year for professional development in some shape or form. And we also ship globally. Again, 21st century skills, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. As far as why STEM is important, for the past decade, STEM related occupations have grown at a double the rate of other jobs. So many jobs that we're looking at now, they won't exist in the future. But there's also so many jobs that do not exist now. And those are going to be in the STEM field. So the top 10 fastest growing jobs are all in STEM. That opens plenty of opportunities for today's learners. So how do we close that gap? We're building lifelong learners in middle school and elementary school and high school. We want them to close that gap to make sure they have the skills needed for the careers that haven't been developed yet or are waiting for them once they graduate or move on to their next step in life. So when we're looking at STEM, we go pre-K to 12 for STEM and STEAM activities. We also have pre-K to 12 robotics and coding portfolios. And then we offer 3rd to 9th grade full-scale activities or full-scale programs where it is a student-driven program and the teacher becomes much more of a facilitator of the classroom. And then what we're going to jump into, we're going to jump into some highlights throughout our grade bands. So first one here is pre-K to 2 highlights. And these are some of the products that are my favorite and that we see huge benefits and engagement throughout the grade band and even beyond. So I'm going to give a brief synopsis about these products. And if you do have any questions, put it in the chat and Kyle will graciously interrupt me and I can get those questions answered for you. So the first one here is the DOT Reading Aloud STEM Kit. So we worked with Teacher Influences, Adam and Carly, Carly and Adam. These stories spark the imagination, which easily lead into STEM learning. So Carly and Adam have written the curriculum. We've partnered with them, and we build the kits for them. All supplies are included. You can buy them with the book or without the book. We also have books, two other books, which would be How to Code a Sandcastle and Not a Box. So there's 3 different Carly and Adam options, which make great activities for the whole class. And it's just a great program. So tried and true VBots is our next stop. So this is where students will learn the basics of coding. They'll start to understand directional language. They'll start building functions, and they'll do this through a ton of engaging activities. They Also come with activity tins such as construction sites, oceans, and let's see, there's a treasure island. So students get the task to move Bbot through the activities on those mats. Super engaging and fun for students to start learning functions and directions and things of that nature. They can also be used to use the words or math or things like that. Our straw rockets, straw one of our most tried and true products. I've got it here in the pre-K to 2 highlights, but this product I see running all the way through high school level course because it has so much engaging activities and so many aerospace topics can be covered with just this simple machine. So students get to build and design their own rocket out of a straw, put fins on it, put a little tip on it, and then they're shooting rockets across the classroom into buckets or through hoops or but then students are introduced, especially in elementary grades, they're introduced to forces and angles and velocity and things of that nature. So these straw rockets are the ultimate engagement activity. Any questions so far? All right, moving on. So in grades 3 to 5, here are a few of our highlights as well. So our drone maker kit, it is a design, build, and fly your own drone. They're basically fail-proof, and it's experienced in the engineering design process. So again, much like the straw rocket, this is an ultimate engagement activity as well. So students are able to build and design their own drone in probably 10 to 15 minutes. But will it fly very well? No, probably not. But that's the part of the engineering design process that we love. So once students put their first iteration of their drone together and notice that it's spinning in circles or it won't take off or something like that, students will go back and make changes to increase the performance of their drone. So maybe the propellers are crooked. Maybe the propellers are in the wrong spots. Maybe it's too heavy. So that's part of that process where we love to see students have that aha moment. Oh, well, these propellers are in the wrong spot. That's going to affect how these fly. So our family STEM night bundle is it's a great bundle. It is geared for a full family STEM night for up to 100 families to participate in. So it is essentially the easy button to set up a family STEM night. It comes with all of your marketing material, all your logistical material. All comes also with all of the products that you would need for 10 out of the 11 stations that students and families would be participating in. The only thing that we don't send you is a long, big roll of paper to have a STEAM mural at the end of it. So that mural, that paper is widely available in schools. And one of the last stations is for a student and their families to draw what STEM is to them, STEM or STEAM is to them, and then it's hung up after the event for a little show and tell. So then we're moving on to Luma. Luma is our newest coding solution. Luma takes students on a career explorations journey. Luma is an out-of-the-box coding solution. Luma has 20 hours of built-in digitally delivered content, with another 20 hours on the way. So here in the next month or two, there'll be 40 hours and 12 different careers that students will take Luma through a coding journey with. On their journey, the students will explore careers that you wouldn't necessarily think about coding or robotics would be involved. So has anybody been to, we've been getting lots of messages lately of robots delivering food at hotels instead of having room service. So we've been seeing that. That's essentially what Luma does, and one of the automations throughout the coding experience. So a great example that I always like to share is, again, going back to those careers, not necessarily thinking that robotics or coding would be involved in, is we integrated a restaurant owner. And Raul wants to automate some of his processes. So students have to code Luma to sweep his floors and deliver pizzas. So it's all done through a web-based app. It's all block-based coding, and we have it going from 3rd to 5th grade. Once this new curriculum and content is uploaded, it can actually get up into the 6th grade as well. So huge benefits of Luma. So in the 6th to 8th grade highlights grade band, we're going to feature our Tetrix Prime, our Echo drone, and some solar cars. So starting off with Tetrix Prime, it's a great middle school robotics solution. It's easy to build. It's a mixture of both plastic and metal building elements. So students can quickly design and engineer their own robot. Once they design and engineer their own robot, they can choose, if they want to control it autonomously via coding through a Arduino app, or they want to utilize it with a remote control. So lots of different variations and experiences that students can have. There's also several different curriculums that we have written around Tetrix Prime. So on to our Echo drone. So this is our proprietary drone solution. We used to be a big seller of DJI products, but DJI discontinued their education line, and this was our solution. So this is a great out-of-the-box flyer. Each drone comes just about nearly put together. All you've got to really do is put the propeller guards on, add some batteries, and you're ready to go. Each one comes with their own controller. Each Echo drone has a camera which can link to your phone, can take pictures and videos and things of that nature. So also, when you're looking at our drones, you can pair it with our middle school's career explorations curriculum, where it takes a look into 12 different drone careers. So again, going back to our foundations where we introduce students to 1,000 careers through our programs, we just talked about 2 products, the Luma and Echo drone. That's 12 careers each, 24 different careers just in 2 products. This is a great solution to start prepping students to take their FAA Part 107 certification course, which that is a part of our high school drone solutions as well. Solar
Hey,
cars.
Jason, before you go ahead, we had a question, if you can go back on the family STEM night bundle.
Sure.
One of our attendees wants to know, they really like that bundle. And for other items too, if they're looking for like a class size of 25, what does that look like for purchasing, or is it reusable? Can you talk a little bit about that? Do you purchase like one bundle, or how does that work?
For the bundle itself?
Yes. Or for the other items, is that all something that they work on you with? What does that look like?
Yeah, that's something that we can handle on a case by case. But the family sim night does have some it does have some consumable elements to it. So if you were running it for 25, you could use this in class as well. If you're running it for 25 students, you could run through 4 different sessions before products started to need to be refilled.
Oh, really? Okay. So family STEM night is a higher quantity of items. So it's a more number than 25.
Right, 100 families can participate.
Oh, 100 families. Got it. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody heard that again. Great.
It has enough supplies to run 100 families in one night.
Oh, wow. Okay, great.
10 or 11 stations.
And then the question, if like a PTA or a principal decides to purchase that bundle, then on the consumables, can they purchase just the consumables after?
There is a consumable kit as well.
Okay.
But most of the things, if they didn't want to, reach out to us, most of them can be purchased at a local store, Walmart
okay.
or things like that. And that
Oh,
list
so it's not has to be
available
purchased for you. So the consumable supplies can be purchased locally.
for the most part. Yep.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thank you.
But to click the easy button, we do have a consumable kit as well.
Got it. Okay.
Back to solar cars. There's several different cars. So this one here pictured is our ray catcher car. It's also the car that we use to when we participate in let's see, that's a TSA teacher or teacher student technology student association. Sorry, had a brain fart there. They use this in the junior solar sprint, and it does great sustainability efforts. So this focuses on, of course, sustainability, and students can start testing the difference between natural light versus artificial light, angle optimization, and gear ratios. So really fun and engaging activity. So on the last 3 products, and then we'll try to close this out and get you guys back to your everyday. So True House Framing Kit, it provides real world practical experiences. Students get to learn about dimensional lumber, reading house plans and construction terminology. It's a great for a high school civil engineering course or intro to construction course. And then you're on to Tetrix Max. So Tetrix Max is similar to Tetrix Prime, where it can be controlled remote control or fully autonomous. It's the biggest difference between Max and Prime is this is a full metal building platform where students can engineer and test and drive and code their own robots. We utilize these robots in several different national competitions, such as First Tech Challenge and Skills USA Urban Search and Rescue. Then finally, we land on Arduino. So PITSCO is one of Arduino's US-based education partners. At the core, it's mechatronics. It's circuitry, it's coding, it's robotics, all rolled into one. What's awesome about Arduino is that it has certifications that can allow students can test their knowledge to gain different certification levels as they proceed through um, the Arduino processes and all of Arduino's kits. So newly released thing from Arduino is the Arduino greenhouse kit, where students can monitor humidity, temperature, and soil moisture levels in real time. It's really, really fun to watch those processes happen in a greenhouse. All right, so ways to purchase and benefits for you guys. So we do offer a 10% New York State PTA discount. So that can be added to any order. You can either get a hold of me or Rich. Our emails are in that first slide or second slide. I'm sure Kyle would be happy to get you in contact with either of us. And then, yeah, 10% off for all using the New York State PTA discount code. So, all right, that's it. With 2 minutes to spare, we got questions?
That was impressive and right on time. I think if anybody has questions, we're happy to take them in the chat. I just put Jason's email again in the chat for you guys, so you guys can connect with him afterwards. As you said, as PTA and both as, school leaders and educators, it is important to, use funds and use your funds wisely on educational needs. And Jason, a question for those robots, how many per class would be purchased if a class size was 20 to 25? Are they reusable? So once bought, can they be reused? What does that look like?
Yeah, so Tetrix Max is slated for, you could use it individually, but we love the collaboration efforts. So we definitely recommend having groups or up to 4 students use one robot.
So they're building it together using teamwork skills, etc. Okay.
Yep. So in a class of 5 or 20 to 25, you need five robots in groups of 4, or they can be more or less, depending on less.
So it'd be dependent on the
more
educator.
depending on how many students you want to participate in one build. So, and yes, reusable. They just take apart, put them back together every time. So,
oh, that's fantastic. So I actually hadn't even known that. I thought they were, I guess, a consumable that you couldn't reuse them. So if a student, groups 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 do the robot in class 1, once they're done, the next semester, the teacher takes them apart and the students can do it again?
they could do that. Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. I hadn't realized that. So that's fantastic.
There was another question about the Drew House framing kit. They are used to be generally, again, in group settings. Most of the time we see groups of pairs. I believe it's about 3 feet. I'm not 100% on the dimensions, but it's probably about 24 to 36 inches in length and 24 in depth.
Okay, 2 to 3 feet. So you're going to need space.
Yep.
So most of the products obviously are for students to work in groups, which I think is fantastic to learn that teamwork.
100%. We try to make it as friendly and engaging in group work as possible. But yet everything could be done individually as well.
Okay, great. Other questions? And we have, I'm going to post it in the chat as well. We have a website that we have with PITSCO, so you can check that out. We have information on our website too. So I'm going to throw that right now as I pull it up into the chat. Give me a second. And then I know I had already put Jason's contact in the chat as well, but feel free to email him anytime.
And also I put in our website if you want to check out more than just these 12 products. Again, I mentioned we have over 3,000 products. So you could get lost in our website just looking at activities for your students.
Yeah, and we always appreciate that discount for PTA members and our principals. So that's always wonderful. So if anybody does have interest on products, they're going to contact you and get that special pricing, which we really appreciate. So.
Absolutely.
And I think that's it for questions. Jason, thanks for the time. We promised you 30 minutes. We're giving you 30 minutes and go back to your wonderful day. Is there a catalog?
Digitally delivered catalog can be downloaded on our website. There's several different ones kind of going back to the grade bands. So it's kind of broken up by different, those different grade bands and robotics versus engineering or STEM.
Wonderful. And I know I've looked through it. It is very detailed and very long. And there's so many cool things in there. You're going to be pretty amazed at all the things that are in there.
The digitally delivered catalog is somewhat new to us, but it does give the ability to animate a lot of the products on the web page, and it makes it very fun to thumb through. Yep.
Any other questions? Well, I think that might be it. And thank you so much, Jason, for being here with us. Again, contact Jason, contact me. I will loop you in with Jason and his other colleague who's going to be joining us on the New York team. You will see probably his colleague at Summer Leadership, we're hoping, which will be so great. Or Jason, whoever can join us in July. And Jason, thanks for being such a great PTA partner. I know we're excited to work together and excited to continue to support our students with STEM learning.
Thank you very, very much for having us.
Okay, we'll see you all later. Have a good rest of your day.